Masterson, the author of The Storm is Over, is back again with us today to share with us on chapter 6, named Princess. Rah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Sheila. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, Rosalyn, your daughter Princess was born on February 2nd, 1987. Why don't you tell us a bit about your daughter before we move on?
Wow, what can I say? She's my princess, is what I call her. She was just this beautiful black baby, you know, very tiny, but very beautiful and so tiny, I could just hold her with one hand. And I'm not saying that proudly, but, the reality, just, she's my little girl, me and my little girl. And ain't nothing else I can say about that.
You were very excited about having a brand new baby in the house. You thought that she would be your ticket to get yourself together. Rah, was she your ticket to a different life?
Well, you have to remember that was in '87, and the story was written in 2004. So, yes, after so many years later, yes, she was. She was my ticket to a different life. But at the beginning, it was just this reality. My fantasy was that me and her dad was going to be together, and we were going to be a family. And, I wouldn't need to use, substances in order to be a great mom, but I was going to love her and just protect her and take care of her with the help of her dad, of course.
You say your baby girl's birth was as uneventful as your pregnancy with her. Why was this?
Because she was not expected, but I guess that's my negligence, when you live running wild, drinking and drugging and not caring and not being careful, things happen. And one of the deals is like the attraction to the men was the sex deal. And with me and Tommy, that's what happened. And so I didn't expect it. And I guess I just didn't go and get my shot like I was supposed to go get a shot. So I neglected that.
So that was how your pregnancy was uneventful?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
talk about the birth being uneventful.
Well, I don't know how to say how the birth was uneventful. I just know that one day I was pregnant, the next day I was having a baby, and that 9 months, or she was like 6 weeks, 4 weeks in, premature. And I know that she was real small because I didn't take care of myself. And so, it was more like at this time just drinking more and just smoking is really what was going on. It's not really paying attention to what was happening in my world.
Princess was born with fetal alcohol syndrome and was diagnosed with ADHD later on. You also say she has struggled with behavioral problems throughout much of her life. Do you blame yourself for her struggles?
Well, yes, I do. Because if you tell the truth, I mean, from the beginning of time, like I said, not taking care of my health, not being aware, just mostly the only thing on my brain was drinking and using. And so, I neglected her. It was nothing like a quote unquote healthy baby. So what a healthy woman, she does not drink or use. She takes care what she's supposed to do. A happy expectant person does that. So you darn right I blame myself because I did that to that innocent little girl.
Was she diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome right at the beginning, from the
Yes,
get-go?
yes she was. Yes she was. Yes she was. She was diagnosed. That's how I knew, that's the first time I ever heard of that fetal alcohol. FAS is what they call it. But yes, and also what was going on with her is because, one of her eyes, and it was from looking at her now, it was the left eye was a letter like crooked, so it kind of like centered directly, like right here toward her nose. So, with them big old eyes, so one of them kind of, she had minor deformities about her, but yes, I could see it. I can see it. Not proud, but I could see it.
Ra, why did you lose her to social services when she was 2 months old?
Because it started on a Friday night and we were drinking, and all of a sudden her dad just wanted to be stupid. As a matter of fact, he wasn't even there when it all started. He was on the road, and then he got in later that night, and I guess with the people in the house and me already drinking, and so he just wanted to start a fight. And so that's how I lost her, and I had asked my mother to come. When the police came to the place, I had asked that Sweet come and get my daughter, but Sweet was gambling, so she sent Captain instead, my brother up under me, and I would not release Princess to him. So yes, so it was just that whole weekend was just shot to hell because of what was going on. The events that led spilled on over to the entire weekend. So that means I had all that weekend until that Monday to go to the crisis center and talk. But just it was just chaotic from the beginning.
How long did Princess stay in foster care?
4 months. She was in foster care from the 2 months to the age of 2 months until the age of yes, it was. It was 4 months. 4 months. And then she went from the 4 months, not in my care, into someone else's care for 4 years because she had first, there was a nurse that took care of her. She had those needs. And then after the nurse and her son coming home because she could not have a foster home with her son being released from prison. Then she went to Captain's house, and with Captain, she was with him for a couple of years.
In your book, you have some suspicions of some things Princess encountered while in the system for those 4 years. What do you think Princess encountered?
Well, aside from the emotional and physical, mostly emotional and physical, but I believe there might have been some sexual stuff that was going on. Because I don't know, little girls with these vicarious ideals and the way that she would be talking at times, one would suspect that somebody had bothered with her. Because also from just that little time on this earth, how she was, she went from the first to 2 months, and then she went to another place, and she was with that woman for 2 years, and then with another woman, and then she got with Uncle Captain.
So Princess was pulled out of the system by your brother Captain, who gained guardianship of Princess when she was 4 years old. Do you think Captain provided a healthy environment for her?
Well, as best he could, yes, because he was the only one that was capable of doing it. He was working, he had a job, he had the means, he had the room. So, yes, and there was no one else. Because, like I said, at this time, my mother had passed, so, so Sweet was no longer in the picture. And then Sweet wouldn't have been capable of taking care of her because she had got so sickly in these last years on this earth, but. Yeah, so he was the only one. Because social services, they look at your income and everything and your place and everything. So yes. So they do a huge evaluation on you first.
So she stayed with Captain for 4 years, from 4 years to 8. And then you were able to get custody back with Princess when she was 8 years old. What was her relationship like with you during this time when you got her back at 8?
Well, it wasn't so good. No matter what I did, it was, it just seems that everything was on Captain, like she really looked up to him, and she just didn't value me or see me as mom. So I believe that we both was like on eggshells. I don't know. I didn't have the know-how to do what I was supposed to do. So, but she's always, even today, she still looks up to him and value what they had, like, which is very special, opposed to what me and her have, which is very painful.
So do you feel like there was an attachment that was missing between you and her?
Well, yes, I do. I know it was an attachment that was missing. Yes,
Do you
big time.
blame her for the challenges she had with accepting you as a mother?
Not really. I don't really blame her, because my history just says it all. In the inability or incapable of being a mother or being a parent. And then the in and the out and all of the promises. And also, I believe that she just holds it against me because she doesn't have her brother no more.
So, after some time, you gain custody of Princess after coming out of a rehabilitation program. You, Princess, and your son Coco moved to Lakewood, Colorado to start your new life together. Did this last long?
All of 11 months it lasted. And the reason that it went on that long is because I was doing, so I thought in my mind, doing everything right. Working and making a home for me and my family. But then boredom set in. And what does an addict do when they get bored? They use. And so I had a plan in place. So that's what happened.
So after those 11 months, she goes back into foster care. And talk to us just a little bit more about why she went back into foster care.
Because it was said that, again, this got to be my history, because when I think about it, the same thing happened with Coco. When I was like on a bender, she wasn't kept. She was unkept. She wasn't being fed. She wasn't hair. Her grooming, everything was just out of whack. So she was just wandering the neighborhood with dirty clothes on. And so the neighbors called social services. Actually, she went to school and they did not let her come from school. That's how she was taken. That's how she was taken.
So then Captain gained guardianship back again with your daughter. He got her out of the foster system. Your son had passed, and you were in a very dark place. You were able to climb out of that dark, deep hole, and you began the process of getting Princess back. Tell us what you had to do to get your daughter back from your brother, Captain, this time.
Well, Sheila, what I had to do, I had to prove to the courts that I was capable, which means that I had to do level 2 drug and alcohol education, being 2 years sober, which means I had to, well, I think I told them I wasn't doing, oh yes, and I had to do parenting classes. And I told them I was not taking no antabuse this time. And so I just had to work at bettering myself, and with the help of another agency that helped me to get my license in counseling. This helped a lot. So I was actually doing what I was supposed to do, no matter what it took, walking into them classes and showing up. That's what I had to do to prove to the courts. Then I had to submit a letter. So why they think that I was capable, and what was different this time. And what was different this time is that I was in treatment. I was in a program. And plus I had a good support system with me. So I had people cheering me on.
So you were getting better, and it was coming time for Princess's 11th birthday. You were able to provide her a full-blown out birthday. This was a huge accomplishment for you. Who do you think was happier, you or your daughter?
I was the happiest because this was the first time ever that I'd done something for her and that I was proud. I didn't have to ask nobody to help, and I just asked her what she wanted. She wanted a pizza party, and we did. Although we were on the bus and we had to take the bus several times to collect the other little kids to go with us to Pizza Hut, we did it. And we got the pictures on the bus. We just got the fun. And I'm just telling you, I really, wow. Yeah. I get choked up when I think about that because the events of that day and just the joy knowing that she was going to be out of that house and we could be, have fun at Pizza Hut.
Yeah. You say that to this very day, Princess lacks self-confidence. Why do you think that?
I believe it could be because of all of the barriers, the stigmas and the barriers that society put, since an early age, the fetal alcohol syndrome and then the ADD, and then the little bitty yellow school bus instead of the regular school bus. And I believe that, with just the names and the way that she was brought up, and these behavioral problems she was having, because she didn't have the corrective eye surgery until much later after I had gotten her back. But it was just, I believe that with everything going on around her. And she's a smart kid, she's a very wise young lady. But yes.
When Princess wanted to talk about the death of her brother Coco, you would shut her down. It was very difficult for you to talk about this at the time. Do you wish you could have processed this with her?
Do I wish it now? Well, yeah, because our relationship would probably be more fuller. Yes, I do now. But at the time, I was not in no shape because I was still reeling from the shame and the guilt of it all. There was no way. There's no way that I was going to allow that to happen. For her to reel me in that way because it was just too painful. Because it just showed up that I was just unfit, incapable of being a mother to my only son. So yes, it didn't allow it. I couldn't do it then.
You got full custody of your daughter when she was 12 years old. You never lost her again. What do you attribute this to?
The motivation for this new life that God has given me, this sobriety, this journey that I'm on, and just knowing that regardless of how I was, I am not that person today, and knowing that things only get better as long as I keep God first and my program, my 12-step program, which understanding and knowing that, it's more to life than drinking. It's more to life than being irresponsible. You have these children, you should, take care of your children. So yes, I attribute this deal with my relationship with God, not family, because they still betting that I'm gonna relapse. So no, it's not them. So, but it is this relationship, because it's God that keeps me going, because He has plans for my life, and they do include my daughter. She just don't know it yet, but then she does.
And you say that God gave you this awakening, that just one day you just knew in the heart of all hearts that Princess needed a mother and also a sober mother.
God gave me the awakening because it was an unselfish act, if you ask me. And it was okay, now what? What we're gonna do now, God? And so yes, because afraid, because I had never really put both feet in, but I was afraid, but I knew that as long as I stuck close to God, and allow God to direct and just hold my hand through this, it would be better. And it gets better every day. I'm still holding that righteous right hand of God, still today.
Princess graduates from high school and you were there to watch. How did this make you feel?
You know, to be a mother that only has a high school diploma, a GED, both of my children graduated. So I was very proud of that. Now, you know, with her and a couple of more of her cousins, because they all in the same age range. But yes, that really made me feel good and sober. I wasn't sober for Coco's graduation, you know, but I was sober for hers. You know, I was sober for hers.
Rosalind, do you think Princess is afraid of losing you again?
You know, I believe she is afraid, but she just has her own witty, her own way of expressing it. But yes, because deep in the heart of hearts, yes, she is afraid. Because you know, in the thing in the 12-step program, we talk about living amends, and I am a living amend, and so she watches. Even when I don't think she's watching, she watches. Although she may not always show up when I want her to show up, but yes, yes, you know. Cause she'll say, "You're my mama. You're my mama. What are you doing, mama?" So yeah, yeah, sassy like.
Have you been able to maintain a solid relationship with Princess to this day?
Sheila, my thing of a solid relationship have always been a mother and a daughter, you know, just being the best of friends. And me and Princess doesn't have that, you know. And so I guess I get what I get, but if I had it my way, we would be like ace boo cool, super cool together. But we're not. But we are mother and daughter. So I do value that because I'm a sober mother today. And no matter what she does, it's not enough, you know, to make me want to go back. Regardless of sometimes not answering the phone or sometimes when she pick up, what? It's not enough. She cannot hurt me no more. Because I've wasted a lot of time being hurt by just listening to her. So no. But I value it because it's a gift from God, you know.
What is Princess doing at the moment with her life?
You know, right now she's in school. She's working right now at a nursing facility, but she's in school studying to be a medical assistant. And one day she wants to be, I believe that she had said that she wants to be a nurse. But I also know that she just has this knack for, she just has this deal with older people, old sick people. So she likes seniors. So, but she's studying now to get her degree in medical assistance.
What are some of her hopes and dreams?
Well, you know, for her to work, to continue to work, and to take care of her sons, because she is a single mother, you know, to take care of her three sons. So, and to give them a better life. And I know one thing that she really, really, no matter what, and I believe the reason that she's not me is because she don't never ever want to witness her kids going to the foster care system like her and her brother had to do. So she says nothing is going to separate her from her boys. So yeah, so she works every day to take care of those boys. May not be what I want and how I want her to do, but that's what she does.
Do you think Princess would be different than she is today if it wasn't for the trauma and losses she went through while growing up?
Well, I'm sure she would be. But I mean, this is something that happened, and I mean, I cannot say that it could have been avoided because I'm an addict. I don't know. I don't know. I just count my blessing that she is back, and that even in her when she's not with me, I believe that she is just working at making herself better. You know, doing whatever she needs to do to make herself better. You know, as for me, I don't have no regrets. I'm not gonna say that I'm sitting over here in this pity potty because I'm sober. She survived. She's a parent today. Thank you very much. And that's it. I did what I could do.
In the end of the chapter, you mention that Princess is starting to form relationships with the family you say has been so toxic for you. She wants to be part of a family. Has she listened to you when you say that she may have to choose life over family?
Well, she listens now, but remember, I mean, my book was written in 2004. And so around this time, she was like 14, 15, and then she had graduated. And so she was just curious about the other side of the family, but she got a taste of them. And so, yes, she is starting to choose taking care of her sons, which means to me that, she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she's not a partier, and just keeping her family really close to her, because being around relatives, that's what they do. They destroy people, because of their lifestyle.
Princess has 3 sons. Do you have a good relationship with your grandsons?
Girl, them is my round heads. I get all joyful when I go to talking about my round heads. I have a great relationship. That first one, he's 5 years, and here come that middle one, and he's just my little pistol with him big old dimples. And then the last one, oh yes, them boys love me dearly, and I love them boys. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I have a good relationship with my roundheads. That's what I call them, roundheads, because they do have round heads like their grandma.
Nice. Well, Rara, this concludes our questions for Chapter 6, Princess. I just want to thank you again for being here with us today and sharing your raw memories of your sweet daughter, Princess.
Well, thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much.
We'll see you back here next week.
Yes, you will.